Hi, my name is Tanya Schnabl. A year ago, I wouldn't have even been able to say to you, hi, my name is Tanya Schnabl, because my voice was cracking so much that I couldn't get the words out. It took me a long time to figure out that just saying my name, I am Tanya Schnabl, meant that I was owning who I was and that it was actually my true voice inside me that was making my voice crack outside me. It is that realization of the mind-body connection that is leading me to write my book, Is Anybody Listening? This is the story of me unraveling my trauma and finding spiritual healers along the way, one after the other, to help me to finally find my voice. So let me go back to 2020, where my story really starts, when I was hospitalized for broken heart syndrome. It's a real thing. It really is. I literally broke my heart. Part of my heart stopped pumping. Leaving the hospital, I left with 2 scripts and a follow-up appointment for 2 weeks. That was it for a disease that's caused by overwhelming emotion, not a bodily symptom. Overwhelming emotion. Home I went. 2 scripts, follow-up appointment. When I got home, I knew I was going to die of a heart attack or a stroke if I didn't do something different. So I decided I'm going to start reading. I started reading books on trauma. I started reading books on codependency. I found Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Body, which changed my life forever. I started using affirmations daily. They were everywhere. They were on my mirror. They were in my car. They were on top of my plan book. You name it, they were everywhere. It's still pretty much my Bible. I was reading other books too, and what I was doing was listening to them in my car on my way to work and crying and crying and crying because I was digging up long-held trauma that I didn't even know was stuck deep inside my body. After a little less than a year, I started to have some anxiety. I had had anxiety earlier in my life, so I knew what that was all about. And I could breathe my way through it. By this point in my career, I'm already a certified yoga teacher, and I meditate, but it wasn't going away. So I looked for a therapist because that's what we do, right? So I found a therapist. I was on a wait list first. I finally got in. And when I first got in, at the end of my very first appointment, she said, no more books. You need these crystals. Find an acupuncturist and a Reiki provider. So I did. She said I needed energy work. I went and had energy work. Here's the deal. Petrified of needles. Petrified of needles. Somewhere in my book you'll find out where, yeah, I had one right at the top of my head. Anyway, each provider sent me to the next provider and the next provider and the next provider. And I kind of call this my spiritual underground journey because I never would have found these people if each one didn't say, oh, do you know this person? Why don't you go here? She does central nervous system work. Oh, why do you go here? He does, he's an intuitive masseuse. An intuitive masseuse. I had never heard of that in my life. The world of energy was opening up in front of me, and little by little, I was unraveling my trauma and finding my true self. My book, Is Anybody Listening?, is about this, unraveling my trauma and following this spiritual path guided by my healers so that I could finally find my authentic self and my voice. This all hinges on the mind-body connection, which is everything. And it led me to start asking, why isn't anybody listening? We're not listening to our students. We're not listening to our teachers. We're not listening to women. We're not listening to the researchers who are telling us about the mind-body connection. And we're not listening to our own bodies. This is where the teacher in me comes out. I want everyone to understand this. And I think the best way for people to learn is to see a teacher doing this work. I'm just an everyday person. I didn't know anything about the woo-woo of energy work, which, by the way, is what my mom calls it. I didn't really have any understanding of that. But without this energy work, I wouldn't be speaking to you today. I probably wouldn't even be able to do my job, which is speaking to teachers and teaching teachers for a living, because my voice was getting worse and worse and worse. So, as a teacher, I hope that you will laugh, you will cry, and you will gasp as you read my book. There are definitely some surprises in there, and you might even hear me sing.